7th, 8th and 9th centuries. Yes, brother.
I'm just going to go back to the first question for asked here. So ISIS is talking about, we always hear about this jihad. So what does Islam have to say about that?
All right. What does Islam has to say about jihad? Is it me or is it getting hot over here today? Right? Let's turn on the fans now. That's a good question, because some people, they may have misconceptions about the word jihad. They may look at some groups out there and what the media is saying, and they may think that jihad is, violence and killing the infidels and whatnot. Jihad simply means, this is the Arabic, jihad is an Arabic word that means that you are pushing yourselves so you can be the best in the eyes of God and you make the society better in the eyes of God. So that struggle that you did, the effort that you put, the name of that struggle is jihad. Example, right? I'll just give you maybe 4 quick examples of jihad. 4 different categories. I never smoke in my life. But suppose if I were a habitual smoker and then I realized, what, Sabilillah, Islam, smoking is bad for you, expense-wise, physically, medically, biologically, any which way. Now I decide to quit smoking. If my friend, Brother Asif, he says, Sabilillah, may God help you in your jihad to give up smoking. See, for me to give up smoking, I have to struggle, right? The addiction is there. It will come back to me if I see any images, other people smoking. So to make yourself better in the eyes of God, that struggle I have to go through, the name of that struggle is jihad. That's one example. If I respect my parents, take care of them at night time, anytime, I'm doing jihad. Sisters, when they go out wearing the hijab, despite the nasty looks of some people, they are doing jihad. If the students, if they wake up in the morning and they go to school, despite the cold weather, they're doing jihad because they want to educate themselves and please the Creator. So jihad in the first category is to make yourself better. The second category of jihad is to make the society better. If this mosque, all the mosques around the world, suppose if they're having blood drive and food drive and clothing drive, and they have marches against racism, against extremism, so we say this mosque is doing jihad to make the society better. That's second category. The third category is, suppose if 2 a.m. at night, if you hear a bang on the front door, when you look, you can see that some gang bangers are there with knives and chains and guns. You want to protect yourself. You want to protect your family. You want to defend yourself. You want to defend your property, your country, your nation. So in that self-defense, you can pick up the arms. So that picking up the arms as self-defense to repel the bad elements of the society, that also is jihad. However, in that self-defense, God is telling us that what kind of guidelines we are supposed to follow. Example, right? It says in the Quran, chapter number 2, verse number 190, that fight in the cause of God for those who are fighting against you. But do not go to extreme, because God does not love the extremist. So what God is saying in chapter 2, verse number 190, is that if somebody is imposing war on you, you have the God-given right to fight back, to protect yourself. Even in that self-defense, God is saying in that verse, do not go overboard, do not go to extreme. God does not love extreme people. So then your question can be, what does it mean not to go to extreme? What are the guidelines? It says in the Quran, chapter 5, verse number 3, that taking one innocent life is like taking the life of all of humanity. So Muhammad, peace be upon him, he mentioned that do not harm women and children even in a just war. That means no non-combatants, they should be touched, injured or killed. If some Muslims are doing it, they're going against what Islam is teaching. Really important. And then we are not supposed to cut down any crops, any trees and destroy places of worship. If some people are doing it, we blame them. Islam is against that. There is no indiscriminatory bombing in Islam. There is no carpet bombing in Islam. There is no genocide in Islam. There is no Hiroshima, Nagasaki in Islam. Islam is that careful about protecting innocent life. So these are the guidelines that what is jihad means. So jihad is a struggle for goodness. If you see something wrong, join with good-hearted people and repel the bad elements and join good in the society. So jihad is a positive term. If somebody is misusing it, we blame them. Just like people misuse the Hindu scriptures, the Jewish scriptures, the Christian scriptures. If some Muslims are misusing it to force people to turn to Islam or persecute people or harm people, we condemn them, not the beautiful concept of jihad.
When we talk about God, there's a common question asked by many people that how come God allows so much suffering and bad things against God? How come all these things are happening in this world and it's not created?
Okay, fine. That's a really important question. How come there is suffering in the world? Children are dying, famine, poverty, wars are going on around the world, genocide, ethnic cleansing. If you go to any children's hospital, you can